Yes guys, what's going on? Coach Indy here. Welcome back to another episode of our Predicting Player Future Moves. Now this player plays for Leicester City and we seem to be talking about a lot of Leicester City players. So credit to the recruitment team and the manager obviously as well, who's obviously been able to develop young players in particular. And today's player is a young player as well. Now he's relatively new to the Premier League. I'm going to leave it at that before we dive into the video. Please hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell guys. Literally 1 second, job done. Will not miss any episodes of anything we put on our YouTube channel. Today we're talking about this monster.
So today we're talking about Leicester City's Wesley Fofana. Now, prior to being at Leicester City, he was at French club Saint Etienne. That is all the clubs he's been at. So Fofana can play as a centre-back, part of a back four or a back three, has done this season for Leicester domestically and on the international stage. Yet to play in any other positions, however, I think he can play right back, given the way he's comfortable on the ball and distributing it. Also, good acceleration and recovery pace. So here are some of Wesley Fofana's attributes and some of his strengths. Very, very quick, very athletic, really important for a centre-back in the Premier League, given the way how dominant teams like to be, and obviously on the transition teams can be vulnerable. Very, very good on the ball, nice and composed, doesn't sort of panic too much, likes to step into midfield and make them clever and cute passes into his midfielders and advanced players. His anticipation has actually surprisingly good for a young player. Normally it's something that gets developed in your sort of later years and after he thought had a bit of a development phase. And his physicality, very, very good. Good frame to him, good size to him. Doesn't mind sort of putting himself about in terms of aerial duels also. So Fofana's 20, very, very young player. Obviously got lots of room for development there, not a problem at all when you think he's under the right manager in Brendan Rodgers. He's also French, and we'll touch on his appearances, or non-debut, should I say, next. Okay, so building towards my prediction for Wesley Fofana. Now, Leicester signed him for 36.5 million, which is a lot of money for a 20-year-old, unproven in the Premier League. However, there were other Premier League clubs interested in him. I think West Ham were mentioned in that as well. I will say his current market value has risen up to 50 million already. Now, he obviously has played in the Premier League, been a mainstay in the team for most of the season. On top of that, he's obviously played some games in the Europa League for Leicester, so it's obviously given him different challenges there in terms of learning against different styles, playing against different styles, giving more exposure on the European scale. Now, he hasn't played for France just yet, and there is a array of talent ahead of him, lots of Varane and Laporte, etc., and others that I've mentioned. But if he carries on this upward trajectory and Leicester continue to progress as a club, maybe get to the Champions League this season, then his time will come, and no doubt he'll make his debut for France. Okay, this is my prediction for Wesley Fofana. Now, the time recording is January 2021. That's my prediction date. In terms of the valuation, I'm thinking he's going to go for £100 million, guys. I'm really going out there with this player, and I really believe in this player as well. And it's going to be quite soon. So the summer of 2022, that is my prediction in terms of the move date. Now, that's only 18 months away. You've only had 2 years experience in the Premier League, but the way he's progressed in the first 6 to 8 months of this season already, fantastic. I think he's going to get more exposure, going to get international recognition, he's going to get more exposure in terms of European level, whether it be in the Europa League or the Champions League, probably the Champions League, the way Leicester are sort of playing this season. And yeah, I think some of the big boys will come in for him, whether it be at Barcelona, I'm not sure if they have money at that stage, a Real, even a Man United, and Manchester City, for example. So that is my prediction for Wesley Fofana.
Wesley Fofana, guys. Wesley Fofana. What a player. Showing that the Premier League is no problem to him. Obviously, he's still got lots of room to improve and get better as a player. Who hasn't? But at this young age, after being in the Premier League for 6 months, playing some European games as well, doesn't look out of place at all. Now, I know I said in my prediction he's going to be moving at a later date, but I think he could play at a high level right now as well, potentially. I wouldn't be surprised if someone comes in for him and he makes that move immediately. But obviously, my prediction is my prediction. I'm trying to think about all the sort of connection, all the dots around it with the pandemic and other players needing, other clubs needing other players, etc. So that's kind of my thoughts behind it. Before we sign out, Click that notification bell if you haven't already. Please guys, it does help the channel grow that little bit further. Drop the video a like as well, helps with the YouTube algorithm. Leave your thoughts in the video below. Last thing to mention is, if you missed last week's episode, absolute cracker, you do not want to miss it. There is a link in the description below. Go and check it out. We'll see everyone next week. Bosh!